Good morning. Excuse me. And so we have to ask the president which way the market's going to go. We need some inside information because of what happened yesterday was not what was supposed to happen based on the charts. Was supposed to be either, let me put up the charts, another inside day, maybe form a 1, 2, 3, 4, break out to new all-time highs. But Mr. President threw a monkey wrench into things, commented, and things went down. It's sort of, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but you're welcome to comment. But it's like trading in a land with landmines around, with these comments that come out about different things and change the next day. Maybe we'll see if it changes today. The only alternative we have is to trade the charts. And right now, as far as the daily charts go, it just says the masses are just confused. They're not sure which way they're going to go here. So they're staying within the range of this wide range nasty down bar for the moment. Let me get it here. Man, a second. Wow. This Zoom, finding stuff sometimes, and I've been using it all this time. Finding things sometimes is still difficult. Anyway, look, prices are just trading inside this big range. Essentially, they're going nowhere. This is not tradable other than possibly credit spreads, which, of course, all you need to do is figure out as best you can where prices aren't going to go on a day-to-day basis, since there's zero DTE for these as well as SPX. And so yesterday was a wide range bar, and it went down to the whole number. Whole numbers are places to keep an eye on for a reference point, especially when things move to an extreme. What's that mean, right? An extreme based on average true range day to day. Yesterday, based on these prior days, that was an extreme move. Starting from here, going down to there, a big bar like that into a whole number. If there's any kind of support to the left, it's going to stabilize there. What it does from there is unknown, but you have to start with something as to where price is likely to go to. Yesterday, prices sliced through this low right here, and you can see this slightly grayish bluish area means that this is what happened pre-market. The white area is during the trading day. So this is going to have less volume. It's somewhat less significant, but it's there. When we look at where prices stabilized yesterday, there was a small amount of support there. So there was something there, and it was some overlapping bars you can see in the white area, and there was a bottoming tail bar there on this 65-minute chart as well. So always look for whole numbers to be justified as to a reference point with price support, some type of price support. And so there was a little grinding bounce, which you can see on the 5-minute chart that moved up. And, right now, this morning, things are just rattling around. I don't know if that's a real bar. I don't know if I have this on 24 hours. No, I don't. If the 15 is on, I don't. So this is the only one, but we can change it to a 5-minute chart. Thank you. Thank you. That was nice to say. I was told, for those in the green room, I was told that I'm always amazed at well you integrate technology. An example to all of us. Well, when you're doing something for about 30 years, you kind of get the hang of it. If not, you know, well, anybody can get the hang of this now that you opened up the door for me to say something. It's the indicator-based methodology that makes it so difficult. The simplicity, which most take for granted, of just looking to the left to see where there's some support or resistance, and then waiting for a confirming pattern, something, like a little double bottom in an area of support. But, looking at what happened yesterday is that went down. You can see a little bit more detail and why there was that pivot low down there on the 65-minute chart. So today, prices were higher overnight. Looking at the cues here, and now they're down, and that would suggest to me they're going to go down there and test that low. And if it does do that, at least from a day trading perspective, that there should be an opportunity there for a scalper long, which would be good. Um, you know, for day trading, all we're interested in is something we can take advantage of in a few minutes to a half hour, an hour, whatever it might be. And if it goes down there with some momentum like this, it should bounce. And that's all we need to know. And then wait to see if it gets down there and what happens. Right now, it's just jiggling around. Let's go back to the 65-minute. Bigger picture perspective there. And so there's the spiders and the same story. Maybe to get down there to test the lows. They're just rattling around there. The big wide range day. So patterns like this where you have a whipping around, a green day, it gaps up, the gap doesn't get filled. It attacks the highs. You remember the Dow made a new all-time high. And then you get a resting day. That was yesterday or the day before yesterday. We were anticipating a resting day. We got the resting day. Yesterday, we did MT Live on 1-2-3 patterns, and the 2 days a resting day. And while it's not a textbook 1-2-3, it's just strong move up. It's a rest. Okay, let's rest a little and go higher to new all-time highs. No, the comment came out and downdraft. So here we're stuck, pivot highs up there, kind of a middle of this wide range where there's some support. And we'll see if this holds today or not, or whether it goes down here. That's the unknown. And so, look, we look down here initially, we see if it bounces and it jiggles around here today, or whether it comes down there and goes sideways and maybe another comment and a downdraft. So our job is to create a bias based on the charts and then see what happens. And you put a bunch of Ichikumi clouds and fib lines and Elliott waves and so on and so forth, you're in the weeds. All right, so Russell, it's more of the same. It's more of the same, more messy, but this made a new all-time high, and this is untradeable in this time frame. Let's just put it that way. It is untradeable, other than if you're willing to do credit spreads, if there's premium there. Trading range. Let's put it on a day chart without the overnight, and this is what we're dealing with, just up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's see if it gets resolved today. Silver, we're going to take a look at. Here we go. Yesterday, I said it's on support. And when anything falls down to support, the assumption is buyers are going to be there. You look for stabilization. You look at the smaller time frame. 65 is a smaller time frame from the daily. And you can choose to trade it from there. But once it stabilizes, as this did, wide range bar, top of the move, looks like it could move up another day, right? Similar to when we talked about crude oil, right? Crude oil was at some support, overlapping bars. You can see on the weekly time frame, it wasn't at a pivot, but a congestion area will do when it comes down there. And it's fantastic when it has 3 bars of stabilization because it builds a rounding bottom. If it's got bottoming tail bars, you know that there's going to be some kind of blip to the downside. So rounding bottoms, I don't know if I got a little arc thing in here, if it's a drawing tool or not, it doesn't matter. You get my point. Rounding bottoms take a longer amount of time to create support point versus just being a pivot low. Pivot lows are what you trade after a trend is in place. Right? You buy pullbacks and you buy at the pivot low as it before it's the pivot as it begins to turn. Rounding bottoms are what you look for after prices are coming down for a while, and you look for that stabilization that builds a support area. So now it's at resistance. And if you traded this, fantastic. Now it's at resistance. It's likely it's going to stall. All right, gold pulled back, and it was anticipated it would hold in this area. There was a rising 20 MA, and you can see the stabilization of the little head and shoulders bottom or whatever you want to call it. It went down and came back up again, and it looks like it's going to try and retrace up into this area, up into here. If it can get through here, and we assume it's going to go up there. Pretty simple. What's not so simple is when you get in, you got to manage it, you got to share size it, you got to deal with the wiggles, and so on. All right, Bitcoin up a little bit, just rattling around. And just so this one made the pivot and it came right back. So yesterday I said this would be good if it came down after a very shallow move up and form a little retest and reversal pattern. We'll wait to see if that happens. Okay, and whatever else we look at, interest rates. Some sectors did a little better than others or not. Interest rates continue to move down. They're coming down. There's the 10 years coming down to this low here. So a little bit lower, and it should begin to stabilize there. And bonds, of course, have to be going up if yields are going down. And so they're rattling around here near the prior high. There's just a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now. We can't change it. It is what it is. Um, you've got regional banks. Remember last week when they fell on the Jamie Damien comments, there's cockroaches out there. I think there's cockroaches all over this place. Some of those cockroaches are filled with explosives called nasty moves intraday. It happened out of nowhere. All right. So let's look at where SPX is today. Dan has some good ideas in stocks because other than intraday, there's no good ideas on the daily charts of the equity markets. Any thoughts on the 2 to 10-year spread? I'd have to open up a different platform, but essentially, just look at where the numbers are. Are they getting closer together? Are they getting further apart? I generally look at the 13-week and the 10 and the 30. So here's the 13-week moving down. And because they're both moving down right now, you don't have them inverting. So if this was stabilized and that was coming down and they inverted, then the recession ideas. But one of the positive things, and there's positives about other than the craziness that's going on, but one of the positives, well, yesterday wasn't positive, but if you're looking at the transport index, it came all the way back up. So this has more stocks in it than just the 20. But one of the positives is that the transports at least participated. Maybe that was the last aha. I don't know. We're just going to have to see how things unfold here. Things are moving around. I'm going to talk to Putin. I'm not going to talk to Putin. I'm going to talk to Xi. I'm not going to talk to Xi. The government's not going to open. It's a minefield. How else can I say it? There's nothing out there that's definitive other than just looking to the left. All right. So prices are roughly unchanged, down a little bit. Well, oil is at resistance. So maybe you want to look at oil stocks. Maybe they're going to bounce. Well, yesterday prices came all the way down there, and you remember I thought, no, it's never going to, it's not going to go down there. And there you have it. One of the mines went off, and it went down there yesterday. So let's see where things are at here. Then I'll hand it over to Dan. Looking. should come way down. Right? 750. All right. In this crazy market, yeah, maybe we can. That would be awesome. Let me tell you this. If we could get a green day today, whatever happens, then we'd have a red bar ignored. And tomorrow I'd say new all-time highs are in the cards. Coming down there today, there'll be a tradable bounce for intraday traders. But let's see how things shape up. It's a long ways to get all the way down there. So a second day down there, probably another comment would be coming, but we'll see what happens. All yours, Dan.
Today's Thursday, so any put spreads, we only have one overnight risk. Alarms here, Bilco. This is one we were watching yesterday. The 1, 2, 3, 4. We were talking about in yesterday's MT Live. We got a 180 breakout on the weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relative strength. It's great. Earnings the 29th, so just got to be up by then. DAKT, I had an alarm. We're already in this, but actually yesterday's bottoming tail, whether you're in it or I think we're only have a half lot. This looks fantastic as a new trade. So it's a multi-week turn at the 50. You had a buy setup weekly. So that looks fantastic. And I just posted a list of ideas, and it's not as big a list as usual for obvious reasons. Let's see, we did a put spread yesterday, but that's a directional watch. It's going sideways here for a couple of weeks at the rising 20. I'd like a close. Well, it actually is a closing breakout, but I'd like a second one before I do a directional. But look at weekly, monthly. It's supported. So that's one of the few nice bullish swings. I had an HLX alarm go off for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. And that's it. That's all my earnings. We don't have many. So let's go. Alarms. Let's go right to earnings here. Well, here, let me show you these stocks. Alex and I looked at every one of these yesterday into the close, and we said, yep, we were going to be pounding on these today. For put spreads and directionals. And then Trump did it again. Said he's going to, these quantum computing stocks, take a look at taking an interest in them. And there you go, boom. Big gap up in all these stocks. But look, this is what we call fluid retracements. That's fluid. This was fluid. You don't have gaps overlapping bars. So this was on our list. I was gapping up $5. Is that excessive? Well, no. It's gapping to yesterday's high. But we just got to work our entry. Rick T, same. Buy setup, gapping up. So this whole sector looks great. And this one's actually weaker. Greater than 100% retracement, but it's still fine for trade. Gold NEM looking healthy again today. You mean GOL, well, it's not. You know what, I'm surprised a new company has not taken the symbol GOLD. Because that's a friggin' fabulous symbol for a gold stock, you know? But I remember they merged with somebody a couple of years ago. Um, you know, we have a vanilla saying, buy setups after Plymos have lower odds. It doesn't mean it's not tradable, but you don't expect a new high. So with this weekly Climo and 180 reversal, I'm actually watching this for some type of M top reversal. You know, still such a deep retracement. Like it's trading at 381. That has a long way to go to, come up to these prior highs. So quantum computing looked great. Oil looks great. That's excessive, obviously, but with Trump tightening the screws on tariffs on Russian oil, that's causing these to gap up. I like XOP the best of the three ETF because it's not excessive. So this is a good spread idea, not only in XOP, but yes, we need to focus on looking at individual stocks in XOP for directional and put spread. Let's go for earnings now. Tesla. Tesla's a call spread idea. That's a bearish gap. That's bearish. 30-minute low call spread. The journal said, they beat earnings, but their profitability was 37% less. Millie. 2120. Yeah, that's gonna say the 123 would be okay. IBM getting whacked, and this is what's causing the Dow to underperform. So, the Dow is price based, so a $287 stock being down how many? $23. That's quite a whacking on the Dow. And then UNH. Oh, so actually I shorted 250 puts on this. I still have $15 of comfort, so I'll be looking to get out. And with $15 of comfort, I sold them for $1. I have 90% confidence I should have an open profit. It's the only other big Dow stock down 355. That's a call spread idea. Now this one, Mo had earnings, so Mo's getting whacked. Look at this, 158. And so I'm surprised actually UNH isn't down more. ELV down what, $7? And this one I think got earnings 2 days ago, which is what caused that breakdown. So they both look like call spreads, whereas Mo, not Mighty Mo, MOH, I'm watching this as a 1 DTE put spread. I have it here in the bottom right. And I again deleted a bunch of these, so if I don't cover something, just ask. Orly, I had an up alarm because this is a double bottom, but now I see it selling off. So, let me set an alarm at 101.80, see if it can negate. No, look, see, I already had one at 101.60. And that's why the alarm went off. All right, Jai, remember we said this one? We talked about fundamentals, Robert Half, this being a picture of a deteriorating employment situation. Look at that. That's a free fall. These railroad tracks, 20 and 50. And this thing's selling off on volume into earnings. Thing looks horrible. Here's a double bottom. Brandy Realty. So, it's a double bottom bounce on a downtrend. 30-minute high. That's interesting. That definitely makes sense. That AI can take over their business. ARR looks like it's opening flat. That's bullish, just going sideways. CCI. If it can negate this, then it's a bottoming pattern. We'll come back to it. There's our Mo package. 198. That's an ugly gap, but I got no bias. SSB is a sell setup and reversal. I said yesterday, if it opens flat, you can short yesterday's low. I have an alarm at 93.80. Mid P6. Wow, that's a big gap, but that's a bullish gap. That is not, it's an excessive bullish gap. That's not a gap and crap candidate. This is a bullish daily with yesterday's bottoming tail. But still, 30-minute low. Tomorrow's Friday. Like, consider one DTE if they're weeklies and they're liquid. This is a big mess. This was a sell setup watch, but gap's too big. Yeah, I already talked about them all done. They're all on our watch list. VRE. I'm just making the turn. I'm just not sure about the target. About 1450 put spread if there's any premium. Here's bottoming pattern, GSHD. This would be a good put spread also, but no weeklies. But it's down a lot, daily, weekly. Weekly has room to 80. Well, that looks like a lot in here. Well, daily, more realistic, 75. That's already 73. There's sell setup here. I got an alarm. This one, a sloppy 1, 2, 3. I have an alarm in 6150. UNP call spread idea on a breakdown. Honeywell 2-4. That's a bullish gap over a red bar. Put spread idea. Bravo X-ray. No pattern. SSB alarm. That was my cell setup. So say that there's nothing to do. That thing just dropped in seconds. Drop. That's just a big gap. Below looks great. Directional and put spread below. That was on my list I posted pre-market. RCI, it's nothing. WST, excessive gap. Dow, bullish, but excessive. CRS, same. Wow, look at that. It's bullish weekly, monthly too. So that's a buy on a pullback. I'll keep it on the list. Hasbro getting whacked. Mattel got whacked yesterday. This is one I said yesterday could trade up or down, whichever way it breaks. American Airlines, nice gap. Put spread if there's any juice. Ryder, that's gonna hurt transports. Because Ryder Systems, it's the moving rental company. They're in the transports. AUB sales setup. I don't see any prints, but that's a sell setup. And DAR. Put spread idea, 30-minute high. All right, IBM ripping. Wow, ripping here. Let me check my puts now. Yeah, I sold them for $1. They're 23 by 42. So I'm gonna bid 25 cents to get out in this rally. Whoop, that's 15. So it's 25. All right, I'm filled. So I'm out at 25. I sold them for $1, so 75%. 75% of max profit with a big old gap against me. All right, CCS alarm. Yeah, that's an old alarm. DAKT doing nothing. All right, I don't have any alarms going on. So let's go through opens here. Our bid slow. It's slow, but it looks good. We're already in it. And DCI, we did a half lot. Don't like the retracement yesterday. eBay, we're in. Kind of forming a small little bull flag. SEM, we're in trail mode. Looks great. We sold a third yesterday. A dunking alarm. This is a big old W bottom. I gave a put spread yesterday, but canceled it because they were spreading. But 30-minute high, I think I like this. I don't need IBM anymore. I'm not going to be doing any new trades on it. So let's watch dunking. All right, this MOH bottom right. Let's see what his options look like. No weeklies, shoot. No weeklies, darn it. All right, Target we're in. We sold a third yesterday. That looks fantastic. So those are all of our directional opens. We have 6 longs, which, believe it or not, is not a lot for us. And Etsy put spread is the only credit spread open. So we have very light inventory. Let me check Duncan puts. I would do it for tomorrow. I'd love to do the 34s for tomorrow. 13 by 28. Actually, on the 33 and a half, there's 7 cents. I'm gonna try to sell the 33s for 25 cents. So I'm going low offer. So I'm probably will not get filled. And then remember, Netflix got whacked yesterday on earnings. Still watching this for a put spread. And it's a fairly quiet open. The things just looking around, they're kind of neutral. Man, this meta, we hit our 1-to-1 stop yesterday on that pullback. We did a put spread, unfortunately, but it would be profitable right now. Tesla, I mentioned call spread, that's tanking. I would do the 435s, but that's $20 away. I seriously doubt there's going to be anything for tomorrow. 735. There's no 735s. And it's 0 by, oh wait, 4, my bad. 435. Okay. Wow, there is premium. Here, Greg, help me out. We could do the 437.50s for $1.05. 437. So here, let me type it for you.
Call spread
Yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah.
Okay.
Here, let me type it for you. So $10 wide. Right now is 70.
Yeah.
Markets are coming back here though. So the bullish 15-minute charts that we closed with are just continuing their slow churn up. Wow, 13 million shares already in Tesla. But you know, that obviously includes pre-market volume. 417 Tesla. I meant 80. That's 80. I had 70 loaded up, but then I was watching it grow. So it's 80 cents right now. A bib up alarm, nice. Finally, I said slow and steady. We'll stop yesterday's low. 146.18. Yeah, well, that's because it's bouncing. So, you know, since you all are in the room more active, um, you know, just wait till you get a sell set up here on the 5-minute chart and trade under a prior 5-minute bars low. Or if it bounces too much, just cancel it. You know, I can't cancel it now to Telegram, but you all can because we got a microphone. And I think our first target 49. Yeah, so you all hold off. You all hold off on that. Ah, look, we made our first target on bid 149.52 by 2 pennies. What an awesome, what an awesome guess of first target. Hey, ASPI, Alex, remember from yesterday? I have that in a little thing here. Wow, nice move. That's could be your home run entry right here. Stop low. Yeah, Target was on our list. Ah, what happened to my alarm? Oh, no, no, no. I'm mixing this up with Walmart. No, we're already in Target. But yeah, that's a nice move today. We're already in a same. We're in a what's today? Thursday. We're in a Tuesday. Let's move stop here now. 93.78. Next target is 95.75. So let's yep, Sav's doing good. Yep. Yep. You and I are in. That was a fun little experiment we did yesterday. All from me seeing that commercial, not commercially, Fox Biz. All right, Tesla, we'll post this pretty.